Welcome back to Dot Life, Dorchester's only hyperlocal podcast with news, content, and analysis. I am excited today to be joined by Seth Daniel.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
It's good to have you, Seth. I think
It's
you
been a
must
while.
have watched last week's show and saw that Bill brought relics, and then you wanted to knock him off the relic train with your relics.
Well, I think we both have a little museum we're compiling.
I bet both of your
it has no
respective
home
wives
yet.
love that. So you've got some relics. Let's hear
Yes,
it.
I've come bearing gifts as usual. Today's topic is what you find when you decide to clean and paint your radiator.
Oh, you
Which I
painted
did.
your radiator. Nice.
I did many years ago. This is probably 20 years ago.
Okay.
So before you paint a radiator, you paint it silver usually. I don't know
I
why.
painted mine white.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, it's got to be that paint that's like the high heat paint.
Yeah.
And I think whatever it is, it's usually in silver, but I'm going to look for white because
Yeah.
I'd rather have white. But in any case, you got to clean it first, which I did. And what came out was kind of surprising, aside from the dirt and other things that gather over years. In a rusty radiator, I found the first thing was this matchbook.
Okay.
This is from Paragon Park, which was on Nantasket Beach in Hull. This was the place to go.
Is it like an amusement park?
It is an amusement park.
Ooh.
World's largest roller coaster, only 18 miles from Boston.
That's very cool.
Yes.
And there's still matches in it?
No, those.
So
maybe
somebody
radiator
got
burnt
sick of
them.
his matchbook being empty and
Yeah.
just tossed it in the radiator.
Yeah, it's probably smoking in the house, Lit one up, threw it out, yeah.
I really wish that we still had some of those old school amusement parks around. There's only a few left in the country.
Yeah, no, it was Revere and Nantasket Beach, Revere Beach, Nantasket Beach. That's where the masses went, and it was the working man's weekend. And this roller coaster is actually kind of interesting. There was a Globe article about it, so it was called the Wild One. It was the world's largest. This is probably from the 50s, could be the 40s, sometime after World War II.
Okay.
It could even be the 60s, but it was quite a roller coaster. And
Did you ride it?
I did not ride it.
Okay.
No, it predates me.
Okay.
But it still exists. So when Paragon Park closed in the 80s, it went to Six Flags in Maryland, where it has existed for quite a while. That park has seen better days as well, and it's closing down in November, and the roller coaster will close with it.
Oh, they're not going to move it again?
Nobody knows, but I would
Is
hope
it,
not.
Is it wooden? It's wooden. Probably.
Yeah, and it's a little dangerous. It reports that even after it was rebuilt, it was rough. I think in the old days, they tolerated a lot more.
I mean, the car rides were probably rougher back then.
Yeah,
so-
going to Paragon Park was not as easy as it is now. And
What
then the
else?
other thing that I found is maybe a little more recent. I'm guessing probably the late 90s, and this is a bus-to-bus transfer, valid only on April 1st. When? We don't exactly know. But somebody was taking the 23, and they probably needed to get on the 16.
Can you imagine? I mean, you lived
You had
here.
to have that,
I didn't
otherwise
live
you had to
here,
pay
yeah.
again.
I could not imagine having to deal with this today.
Well, you had to ask the driver for it, and sometimes the driver wouldn't do it, or if you were a kid, going to school, they just go, shut up and get out of here, It's like then you had to pay again.
So you would get on the bus and ride to your place, and then as you're exiting, you would ask
Yeah,
for transfer?
yeah.
Oh my
Transfer,
gosh.
please. You'd have to say that. Yeah.
And they would have to
Yeah.
get out their pen and
Yep.
oh no
and
way.
then they would collect them, and I mean, where did all these go? You wonder. In
to
the
your
radiator. So those are the two things I found, and it's when you're in an old house in Dorchester, you can find a lot of odd stuff when you start going cleaning or renovating or any
I
other thing.
typically don't keep them.
I don't either, but these two things, they ended up in a drawer, and there they are.
My friends bought a place in Hyde Park and they found a box of like extremely old condoms.
Oh,
Yeah, like wedged in the wall somewhere. Yeah.
probably some teenager.
Who knows? It was they were like old, like in a
Yeah.
tin. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
20s. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even know.
I know. The things you don't know.
That's true. Wow.
Well, before we get into the
Yeah.
news, I'm really glad you're here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be
Because
here.
Not only are you a delight, but Bill is terrible at football.
Ah,
He's getting better. He's trying.
he watches a lot of football. I don't know.
He watches a lot of college football.
Well, so do I, but I watch both.
Okay,
And
so
even some high school, so some I can talk.
you're a Pats fan.
I am a Pats fan. I
You
watched
must
the
be
game.
feeling pretty good this week.
Well, it's so up and down. It's like this roller coaster here. It's the Raiders.
Rickety.
I mean, the Raiders are no good. Why did they lose to the Raiders? But then they blow out
Yeah.
last week. And
Carolina, though.
Carolina.
Carolina's terrible.
They are terrible, but still it was a commanding performance. And
It
so
was.
they blew out a bad team, which is what you want to see.
Yeah.
And they didn't look good at first, so they really had to kind of, buckle up and get themselves back on firm ground, and then they played really well. I really liked what I saw from Stephon Diggs, the receiver. Yeah, I know. Let's not judge him morally, but he can catch a ball.
Well, he was from Buffalo, and he left in dramatic fashion as he does. And
right. Oh, you're talking about why he left football.
Yeah. Well, and all the other things that are going on with Steph Diggs right now, which I think he's falling off a train.
Yeah, but he can catch the ball.
He sure can. He always has been able to.
Yeah, Drake May, I mean, he looked really good. Every pass was pinpoint. I really liked the one where he it was only a 5-yard pass, but he wove it through like 3 people into Hunter Henry's hands. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not see that. I was actually watching the Bills-Saints game.
Yeah, that was a good game too.
Wasn't a blowout.
No, it wasn't a blowout. I think the Bills had more trouble with them than they should have. But
yeah, agreed.
That's kind of like every Bills game. It's like, they're never going to win this game. And then all of a sudden they win. And,
by like 3 scores, and you're like, how did that happen?
Yeah,
this whole game was close.
I took a nap, and now they're winning.
I don't take naps. I just pace.
Yeah. I know that feeling. So, yeah, I mean, the football season's kicked off well.
Well, you know who's playing New England next week?
The Bills?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In Buffalo.
I don't have high hopes for the Pats on that one. I mean, it's just Josh Allen he's just too good. I don't know if our defense can hold him in. I mean, I still remember the time when he had such a bad game in Buffalo against the Patriots that they said he should. I mean, the guy Zolak said he's got to give up.
Give up?
He's horrible. This is the worst performance I've ever seen. This kid cannot throw the ball. And then next year.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Now we wish we had him.
Well, I think Drake is good. I think he's still learning. Right. I think Josh knows Steph Diggs, so that helps because
that's true.
The team
How's
knows Steph Diggs. Yeah, so hopefully that will.
Yeah,
they'll be able to shut him down.
They got some good receivers in the stable there. Maybe some others can step up for the Pats. I mean, you'd like to see a competitive game. I'm sure you would like to see a blowout. I want to see something that's going to keep me awake on a Sunday afternoon. Right?
It's cool because the Bills are wearing their rivalries jerseys for this game.
What do they look like?
They are whiteout jerseys, all white, and they've got this silver buffalo on and then it says Bills Mafia on the collar. It's very
really
cool. Yeah, it's very cool.
Wow. Uniforms have definitely gotten much more of an enterprise. Every game is kind of different, especially in college. That's way off the charts. But even the NFL now, I think it probably generates some excitement and certainly some cash.
Money, yep.
Got to get that jersey.
Before we leave this topic or the topic of sports, you did watch the Sox game.
I did last night.
I didn't.
You didn't?
Nah.
Well, I can sympathize. Baseball really got boring for a while, but I have to say they have made it so much better. They have a clock now, so the game really moves along.
Pitch clock, right?
Yeah, and even between innings, even when they put in a new pitcher. I mean, I've been to several games this year after not having gone for a long time.
Yeah.
And I have to say, it moved along. And it was, some of them are on a weeknight. And if you went to a Sox game on the weeknight, you could be there. I mean, you might not get home till midnight, and that's hopefully. But it wasn't like that. I think we were home by 9 o'clock.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, wow. I think it moves along.
It's like a 2-hour game.
Yeah, last night's game was 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Wow!
And it was packed full of action. It was a really good game. The Red Sox have no business being in the playoffs because they started so terribly. They've turned it around and they beat the Yankees.
Always nice.
Yeah, at Yankee Stadium, you saw Yankee fans, especially the kids, crying, which Red Sox fans love that. Yeah, I didn't mind it. But the last inning was great. So you had the bases loaded. It was 3-1. There were no outs. Their ace, Chapman, was on the mound. He was supposed to be the ace. But he loaded the bases, and it looked like the same old story again.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, he discovered how hard he can throw. And he did. And it was like 100 miles an hour every pitch or more.
And struck them out?
He struck out 3 players right in a row. And
That's wild.
They all stood on the base. Well, he struck 2 out.
With bases loaded.
Bases loaded. Struck 2 out, and one was a weak fly ball that they couldn't score on.
That's crazy.
And the Red Sox won, and the Yankees were sitting there with their hands on their head.
You don't lose that game. Oof.
At home. They were at home.
So is that 1-0 in the series?
It is. That's the first playoff game. So this is the wild card.
Is that best of 5 or best of 7?
3.
Best of 3.
Best
wow.
of 3.
Man, I don't know baseball. Mm-hmm. Embarrassing myself.
Things have changed. I mean, they change the rules all the time on the playoffs. In the old days, it was, just you were lucky to make the playoffs. You could be a really good team, and then it was over.
Yeah. They have the robot umpires now, too, don't they? Or some...
No, but they do on TV. On TV, they show all the mistakes, It's... I don't know. I think the real umpires do a pretty good job. They do review, like football. They do review, like
scoring plays and stuff.
Yeah, safe at first, out.
Right.
You can challenge it.
And
that's
a
good thing.
Yeah,
it is, and it hasn't slowed the game down.
I like that with football. I think that really...
It does.
There's so many bad calls sometimes, and
Yeah, no, there were some that in the playoffs I can remember many years ago that before they brought it in, I think it was Houston. They had a team at the time, the Oilers.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Oilers?
I do remember the Oilers.
And
we had our biggest comeback in the Bills' history against the Oilers in the playoffs.
Wow.
Back in 91.
Wow, look at this memory. Yeah, I don't even remember that. But they caught a touchdown pass that was ruled not a touchdown. It was in the playoffs, I believe. Or it was a very critical game. And that's when they said, you got to have a review. And they did. I think it's better. I think it's way better.
I agree.
Football and baseball.
Well, thanks for joining .Life Sports. We'll see you next week. Oh, no, we've got to do the news.
Yes. We're here for a different reason.
So we're going to talk about a few topics. The main one is around Codman Square and what's going on with the businesses in Codman Square. We've got some great news coming out of UMass, our neighbors down
Boston.
Down Morrissey here. And a little update on some folks making some moves. So you want to start with Codman? This was your big story this week from Page.
Yeah, I've been watching this for a long time. So the storefronts, the story is basically about the storefronts being vacant. There's a lot of them. I mean,
so many.
Yeah, I mean, and it's even some of them are really like crass. They're boarded up. And they've been boarded up for a while, and people loiter. You see people setting up chairs with nips.
Yeah.
With little alcohol bottles, if people don't know. And it's a bad scene. I think we counted like 12 to 14 storefront vacancies.
That's a lot in that area.
Yeah, it is.
Right in the main
main
drag. Yeah, okay.
Yep, right there. And we could have gone further, but we kind of kept it right there on Washington Street in the main business district. Some of them, for instance, Jordy's, and there's this other one, Northside. I call it Shoe, but Northside Family Apparel. They sold shoes. Okay. Yeah, it was a Chinese couple, and they got old and they retired, and their kids didn't want the business. There's another business there that was a Haitian store that was there for decades, and the same thing. The lady got old, and she couldn't do it anymore, and the kids tried, but they really didn't want it, so it went out. Jordy's was an empire. We can talk about more of that in depth, and it closed just last month. Okay. And that's after 65 years in the same location.
There's one in JP that just closed, Georgie's Shoes. That was
100
years, and she just couldn't swing it anymore financially. It was, I think those small stores have so much expense, and they're really counting on people to come in, and
And the biggest ones in Codman Square, though, there's the Citizens Bank building.
How does a bank go out of business? Come on.
Well, they moved. They decided to go down to Mattapan. And then they left that one. It's been vacant for 2 years. It's a large space, almost 5,000 square feet.
It was a fairly new branch, wasn't it?
No, it had been there a long time. In fact, it had been there so long that the green for the Citizens Bank had turned almost white. Which I used to like to remind them of a lot because it looked terrible. And it's still there, unfortunately. And then the Walgreens, more recently, the Walgreens closed. Yeah. That was in September.
And the Popeyes never opened, right?
Popeyes, they could write a book on that. It could be, UMass could have a degree on that.
Failed chain store openings.
The Popeyes saga of Codman Square.
But so that was opposed by the neighborhood once they approved it.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of nuance to that. But yes, in general, I mean, not all the neighborhood didn't want it. A lot of people wanted a fried chicken spot, Yeah. Other people...
Wait, isn't Popeyes fried chicken?
It is. A lot of people... So there was a fair amount of people who were not against it. But the the majority, particularly the teens, the program there for the teens, as well as the neighborhood council, the health center, a number of others, and the counselor at the time opposed it on the grounds of health. I mean, it is, to be honest with you, the only restaurants in the area are fast food, you know, KFC, McDonald's, and they wanted something better, something healthier.
Okay, but then you have to go get something better and healthier, or you have an empty storefront.
Well, it's true, and to the neighborhood council's credit, after that, they did do that. They actually go out and identify people who they believe could be a good tenant, and they bring them into their meetings and have them serve food or whatever they do. They use their farmers market and their winter farmers market kind of as an incubator.
The House of Seven coffee, right?
There you go. Yeah.
They were at Dorchfest and they were delicious.
Yeah, and she's been trying to get into one of those vacant storefronts for a long time and just can't crack the code there.
What does that mean? Like, what is the blocker? Cost?
Well, number one, there's this is endemic in all of Dorchester's business districts. Mattapan too. Mattapan Square, Fields Corner, Codman Square, Upham's Corner, maybe not Ashmont so much. But that is people from out of town that own the property. And a lot of times they've owned it for a long time. It's all paid off. Some of them are realty trusts, and the trustees don't even know they own it. It's just a portfolio of many things that they own, and it collects rent. So they don't do upgrades. The electrical is typically very poor. Some of them don't even have heat.
How is that legal? That's not legal. Is it legal?
No, but if you have no lease, you can't complain. And a lot of these businesses are immigrant owned, or they're people who are just barely making it. And if you complain, they say, "Well, get out."
Yeah, yeah.
So you don't have much of a choice. And so that's one of the problems there. And in a lot of those cases, the landlords want long-term leases from chains, which is why Popeyes came in.
Okay.
They were going to sign a 10-year lease.
Yeah.
So when
a local business is not signing a 10-year lease.
No, you're not. And Popeyes and those businesses will do that because they're going to come in and they're going to spend $1 million to build it out.
Yep.
A local person can't do that.
Right.
So they may get a 5-year lease and they do incremental improvements, if any. And that's what you end up getting. And it's a catch-22. What you really need in Codman Square is some people to just say, you need to give people a chance. And we might be getting there. There was one landlord who does own the Popeyes. She lives in Milton. Her family had a diner there at one time. Saint's Diner. Some people might remember that. And, I think she's maybe coming around. She said she's going to subdivide the Popeyes to 2 storefronts, and maybe that gives local people an opportunity.
How much of the inside of Popeyes has been fitted for Popeyes? Because the outside already.
100%.
So they're going to have to completely gut and redo it, or have Popeyes themed coffee shop or something.
I know, wouldn't that be funny? Popeyes coffee.
I imagine there would be a cease and desist coming.
Yes, there would. Yeah, there would. And that's kind of the problem. People don't want to take a chance. And I'll point out these other business districts, despite suffering from lack of ownership for the most part, they aren't vacant. They're full.
Is that because they have Main Streets associations?
Some of them, yes. But others, they just, it's still a value to be in there. And there's still landlords that will take a chance on, I'll say in Fields Corner, like Level Ground, which is the mixed martial arts studio, which has been wildly successful.
Also a Dorchfest performer.
Exactly. And very popular. I think they've gathered many, many new members and participants since they've moved there. So I don't know if someone would take a chance in Codman Square on that.
Well, is it the area?
It's personal decisions. It's also parking, but that's kind of like every.
I mean, the parking there is bad.
It is, but one of the things people don't understand is there is a municipal lot there.
I did not know that.
Well, a lot of people don't. And one of the problems is that there's a lot of people who park there all day long. I don't know where they're going. Maybe they're with the health center or they're business owners.
Courthouse, maybe?
Courthouse is probably one of them. Maybe a little far, but there's other things. There's also the 23 bus that runs through there. Maybe they're getting on the bus. Other people, I can tell you, just pull up and sell stuff. So they just take stuff out of their trunk and they're selling things.
So there is a thriving business district there.
Where you're supposed to park to go to the businesses. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of
there is a train station.
That's true, Talbot. You mean the commuter rail
commuter
station?
rail, yeah.
You could be parking there. You might find a closer spot.
No, I mean you could take the train there. Is there no red line stop in Codman?
Yeah, there's Shawmut.
Shawmut, but that's not.
It's a little
that
bit of a
close.
walk.
Yeah.
It's close, but it's not close. It's the 23 bus is like the main thing that runs through
Isn't
there.
that the one that people?
That is.
Wow, so go use this.
You can get a bus transfer from Codman to Grove Hall.
The bus driver would be like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah, if you gave this to a bus driver, they'd go,
They'd kick you out.
They'd say, "Okay, get on." Well, I think this is good.
Doesn't technically have an expiration date.
Well, only on April 1st.
Oh. So wait until April 1st of this year.
April Fool's Day.
You did talk a little about the lack of leadership. So is that part of the problem? Is that there's nobody really...
A business organization, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of these places, like going back a long time ago, had merchants association. It wasn't main streets. It was just a merchants association. So you have your neighborhood association and your merchants association, and they stuck together, and they really did demand. They had a voice. They demanded changes. They got action. The business districts were better because of it. But those kind of all, I don't know, they just fizzled out. Mattapan Square had one. It fizzled out. Codman had one. Then Main Streets came in. Main Streets, of course, is a program that's quasi-city.
Yeah. That was Mayor Menino, I think, who started, at least the Greater Ashmont one.
Yeah, it's a national model. Like
Yeah.
there are other cities that have main streets. But Menino did bring it in. That was, I think that's part of his platform when he first came in. He did it in Roslindale first. And it worked. And it is successful, but it really is dependent on the person that's running it. How active are they? How well do they know the neighborhood? How much time are they going to spend on it? Fundraising is big in that because you have to raise half. The other thing is the city going to pay on time. When you have an event and you have all these vendors, they want to get paid at a reasonable, before 180 days.
Yeah. So what's the solution here?
I think one of the things that should be explored more often, whether we're talking about this or anything in the city, is just people power. And that is, let's get together, let's have this. We don't need a big umbrella or a massive budget, but you can have a meeting pretty much for free. So if you get 10 shop owners and one of them that's more vocal, now you have an organization.
Yeah.
If you have 5 shop owners really in that area, you have an organization. And, you get the ear of a city council or something. And, I think that's probably, organizing without so much structure, doing things without like having to have a, $1 million study is probably in order all over the
Residents
city.
too. They should be raising voices about their unhappiness.
Right. And in this case, the residents in Codman Square have a very powerful voice. The neighborhood council and all of the civic associations around it are pretty, high functioning, and they get action. Was mentioned in the story, a brand new park was just unveiled there. They had a ribbon cutting. And that park would have never happened without the neighbors demanding it. They demanded it. They designed it. They took it to the city. They even found their own funding. Maybe the businesses need to do a little more of that, too.
They've done some work on Second Church as well, which we've talked about. So there's some investment going on there. Yeah.
Second Church is going to look tremendous when it's done. And the bell is going to ring.
Let's move to Jordy's specifically. So speaking of Codman, this is one...
Jordy's men's store. I've gone to it. I'm going to miss it, actually. It was where I bought my brothers-in-law most of their gifts, sweaters, wallets, belts, school uniforms. They had those there. Everybody knew them because they had kind of a very unique storefront. It's like a pinstripe with the old-fashioned glass where they would have mannequins putting there were some really interesting outfits that they had on. A lot of them were very stylized, and I'm sure they changed with the times.
Yeah.
But, it just drew your attention. It was an old-fashioned store, and it really did come out of an old-fashioned time. It was one of many. So it was like, how you might see some of these small local chains. I'll just use like E.B. Lynn's was one of them. I don't know if you remember that. So it was like a retailer. I think they started in East Boston. They may have had 10 stores around.
Okay.
so like a regional retailer. And that was started by this family.
The family that ran Jordy's. Okay.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, the people who ran it in later years were not the original. They were relatives,
Okay.
but they were all related. And so what happened was there was this massive department store, one of the first of its kind on Blue Hill Avenue, called Silverstein's. And this was like probably before the war and after, definitely before 1960.
Okay.
When everything changed. And that's where everyone went to buy their things. You didn't have a car to go to the mall. There were no malls. So you went there. And this gentleman, Morris Silverstein, had quite a interesting idea to expand off of his very successful, like probably first in the nation department store, which is, like Macy's would be now. And those are out of vogue now. But that was a very new idea for him. And he thought, let's have satellite stores with other family members. We'll set everybody up in different locations and not compete with each other. And I think they probably use purchasing power as well to offer unique items and lower prices. And Jordy's was one of the ones that they set up. Another was Jack's Men's Shop, which was in the South End.
Okay.
It eventually moved to Chelsea. I have the honor of having written the closing story for Jack's Men's Shop too. In 2020, when the family that ran Jordy's, their cousin ran Jack's, and he just was, he was older and he was ready to retire. And it was a very successful business when he closed. People in Chelsea loved it. And the same with Jordy's. Jordy's had quite a following even into the mid-2000s, always employing the people who lived around the store. The people from the community were always employed. Even in Chelsea, the one Jack's. There was another one in Mattapan Square called Alson's. That was part of the empire. One in Randolph, and then the Silversteins, the one on Blue Hill Avenue.
Okay.
And so it was a unique idea, and it worked. And Jordy's has been there 65 years until just a few days ago.
It's got to be so hard to keep competing with internet mostly, but also, the big box stores.
Well, I think that's really it. The people who owned the shoe store, so the Chinese couple who went out, as well as Jordy's. So a lot of the things that they could do, like I remember taking my kids in the shoe store and they thought, you got to go to the mall to get shoes. And I said, well, let's just go in here because I used to buy my shoes there. And they were like, wow, because there were things in there that you weren't going to find anywhere else. Because what they relied on is they would say, okay, let's be specialties. Let's get specialty items. Limited edition things. All these shoe companies make the limited runs. Like they'll make 5,000. Like I'll give you one example. There was a pair of Pumas that had Snoopy and Woodstock on them playing tennis. And the kids had never seen that before, and it was cool in elementary school.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'd
not
wear
now.
those now.
Yeah, they are pretty sharp. They're still around the house. Like they're in the radiator. No, maybe under, but. Yeah, and that's how they survived. They got these limited edition runs. They'd say, can you get me 20 pairs out of the 5,000? And, the shoe companies would do so. And then they could sell them there. And it was a niche market. And people would buy them. And you couldn't find them anywhere else. And that was really kind of something they did. But these shoe companies, let's say Nike was a big brand that they would sell. Clark's, they made quite a bit of money off of that. But as time went on, these brands didn't really want them, according to them. These brands didn't want them. They weren't interested.
The shoes companies weren't interested in giving them those.
Yeah, and other brands too. Levi's. It's like, okay, we've been doing business with you 60 years. Come on in. When they're doing their buying, come on in. You got 5 minutes. Choose what you want and get out of here. And just the attitude and mindset that you got to go somewhere else. That's. In Dorchester, everybody thinks that. You got to go somewhere else to get something good.
Yeah.
It's been like that a long time in people's mind, and that's, maybe we've been conditioned to think that. I always thought, let's slow down and let's see actually what's here. And then not many people, well, there was a good following at the shoe store, but a lot of people didn't go there. They didn't think there was anything in there. But you could go in there and get a pair of Jordans actually at a cheaper price than the mall.
When did they close?
About 18 months ago, right after Christmas, I think in 2023. Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, they just retired. They'd been at it a while. Jordy's, the same sort of thing. The owner, this guy Jay Wolf, he's the last of the family. And he is more involved in a store that he has an interest in up in New Hampshire. And, he used to be at Jordy's every day. His dad was, for the most part, the Jordy's guy. Leonard Wolf was his name, Lenny. And he was well known in Codman Square, and he just passed away a year or so ago. Everybody knew him. When you're on a block every single day for many, many years, all the ins and outs,
right.
all the things that happen, the people that come through. As this guy, the son said, we would sell a person their first suit and their last suit, unfortunately. That's the life of a retailer.
Right.
You do that, and you do it with dignity and thoughtfulness,
I've been spending a lot of time in Codman lately, Seth.
Who, you?
You have.
I live there, so
Well, that makes sense.
yeah. But that is true, though. A lot of people who live around Codman Square
don't go
there. There's been studies. Northeastern did a study. There's been a lot of studies on that. They just don't patronize the business district.
I think Daily Table closing really hurt.
That was another one. We didn't get to that, but that was a major one too. I mean, there's
great location, and food. I mean,
and
groceries.
Parking. It had parking.
Yeah,
across the street.
Yeah.
No. There's got to be a reason. Someone needs to delve in and figure it out. The neighborhood council, the health center.
Corruption? No, I'm just kidding. But we are going to get on corruption in our next story.
Are we?
Old corruption.
Old. We must be talking about UMass
We're
Boston.
talking about UMass, yeah. So I was asking you earlier, the nursing building came down. Why did it come down if it's not that old? And you said...
Well, yeah, I mean, UMass Boston has, I'll start by saying it has turned a page from its past. But when it was built, I mean, there was quite a bit of controversy. I think there's still people alive who have hard feelings about it, so I won't get too deep into that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, every building was built by a different person, a different contractor. As it was told to me, it was a downturn in the construction industry at the time. So
what is this, like 70s? 80s?
Yeah. Yeah,
80s,
70s,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I would say, and maybe late 60s. I wish I had looked that up. But, there were some people who went to jail for it, some legislators.
Okay.
Alleged corruption. Now,
Well, it's not alleged if they went to jail. It's corruption.
Well, the people who did it, there's questions about the people who went to jail. Did they really do it? And the people who didn't go to jail, did they do it? So I'm not going to get into that.
Wow, we're going to have you back for a whole interview on that one.
I've had people who said, I was in the room when the supposed bribe was given, and there was no bribe. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, that's all background, but out of its past has really come some unique building. We've always seen, all of us have seen the science building. It's been there about maybe 10 years. I really don't know, but
that's the pretty one.
Yeah. So it has a glowing aspect to it at night. A lot of glass. It's new, innovative.
Stands out among the industrial brick theme that is UMass.
Right. And that brick is, as we were talking before the podcast, it is above ground and below ground. The parking lot was condemned below ground, and I know many people, including myself, who damaged their car on the many, many, many pillars that seem to be placed for no apparent reason right in the middle of everything.
I like how you phrase it as people who damaged their cars versus people who damaged the pillars with their cars.
Well, there's a little bit of both going on. But I honestly, in its last days, if you'd have hit one of those pillars, you might have brought it all down on you.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. They may have been a little too much water in the concrete, as they say. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, who knows? But like I was saying, there's a new day there. The buildings are better. The whole campus is actually taking a turn for a number of years now. There is on-campus housing now. They have dorms.
Yeah.
The dorms are pretty nice looking too. Actually, they're further down Mount Vernon. A lot of people don't go down there.
No.
If you don't have a reason, you won't.
Is that Harbor Point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I didn't realize
it's across,
it was dorms.
Yeah. Harbor Point actually has a lot of college students.
Yeah.
But it's separate. Across the street are new dorms that are about 10 stories tall.
Okay.
And they have, I think, around 1,100 beds.
Wow.
Yeah, and a lot of freshmen live there.
Yeah.
I talked with a young woman recently from Worcester, and she came to UMass Boston.
Okay. So this is the new nursing school building.
Yeah. So what happened was UMass Boston made a filing for environmental reasons and to begin the whole process. And they have to have a master plan. So they filed a new updated master plan, which doesn't mean they're going to build anything. It's just this is what we want to do.
Okay.
But within that, they actually did file a notice kind of to proceed on a new building that would be for the nursing program.
And when did this building come down?
Well, I don't know. It's been a little while. It's been several years, but they did demolish what was called the science building. I think there was a lot of things in there. The nursing was one.
Okay.
So since then, nursing has kind of been spread out, I think, at 3 locations on campus. There was some proposals by a lot of people to put it different places. There was a brief minute where the Kearney was suggested.
I heard that.
Yeah, we won't talk about that. That's all gone.
Yeah.
But also at Southline, across the street here from you.
Okay.
That was talked about. Maybe there's some space in there for the nursing program. As it turns out, they want it on campus, and that's smart. Everyone can see why. You want everything on campus.
Yeah.
And the nursing program is one of their most popular and biggest programs. It's one of the biggest in the state.
And we need more nurses.
We need more nurses, and we need to train nurses. And it's one of the better programs. And certainly, it's right in Boston. It's easy to get to for most people. You don't have to have a car if you don't want to. So they are going to build a new one. That's the news. They have put it out. They've shown a preliminary rendering, and it's all preliminary. They do have the money. The money was secured in the budget by a state delegation. And, who knows when it's going to start. These things take time, more time than you'd expect. But I would say it's sooner than later. It's not aspirational. It's a certainty.
It's quite glassy. Looks nice.
It is. And I like the thing they said it's going to glow at night. I like things that glow at night.
Me too. Like the moon.
Yes. Yeah, no, it is nice. I mean, the science building, it glows at night. And when you're driving on Morrissey, early in the morning or late at night. Yeah.
Or if you're across the bay looking over, it stands out. Or in a plane.
Yeah, and they understand that. They know their past is brick and poor brick and not good mortar, and they're trying they're trying to build, with better materials and things that stand out. This is they're referring to this as a gateway aspect, like welcoming you.
Yeah.
And it's something
when
nice.
you fly into Boston at night, you see UMass. If you're the
Very
flight path is right over the peninsula. So
it's true. JFK and UMass right there.
Yeah.
So it will look nicer. It'll welcome people to campus. The campus is really, really changed. Even like open space, you have there's like a really nice green space now right on the, facing the ocean, the bay or the harbor. And it's really a nice place to sit. There's a quad now. So like most campuses have a quad. It has a quad right in the middle. In fact, this building is going to open up into the quad. So yeah, things have changed.
That's good. My tech guy, who also is my boyfriend, has described UMass from his days there before he went to Penn State as prison-like. So I think this will be good improvements.
People misunderstood it for that. It looked like it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they just were, Wall Street Journal just came out with their version of the top colleges, which has a different metric than U.S. News and World Report.
I heard those are all nonsense.
A lot of them are. I like the Wall Street Journals because it's based on, some accounting. It's a financial newspaper, so it's like, if you're going to pay this much, are you going to make this much?
Oh, I like that metric.
Is there a value in it? UMass Boston was, I believe it was in the 300s out of 500.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, it was right there with a lot of Rochester Institute of Technology was right below it. Rensselaer, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was there with some good schools.
Yeah.
It wasn't 350 is a good spot to be in.
That's not bad. Yeah.
No, not at all.
Well, speaking of construction projects, the White Stadium project is off to the races.
Yeah, well, I think it's demolished. I don't know what they're doing now.
Well, they got the funding, so that is good.
Yeah, funding is there. Construction-wise, I think they've hit a pause. Well, they're behind.
Yeah.
Because I think
as construction tends to be.
Yeah, but even so, they were going to open in March 2026. I think that was. I think that got pushed
out pretty quickly.
Yeah, I didn't see how it would happen.
No.
So they are. If you want to say they're behind, they're behind. Maybe they're just being realistic now.
Yeah.
They're going to play at Gillette,
right.
And then they'll come here, potentially. If that all works out in 2027.
Yeah, I think that's right.
But what happened is there's a guy who was Who was
Sean
that?
Lydon. Yep.
Yeah, Sean Lydon. He was in charge of inspectional services. He has a lifetime at the building department in City Hall, or 1010 Mass Ave, where the building department is located. And so he left as director of ISD, and he was assigned to like special projects, and a new person took his spot. And one of those special projects was White Stadium. Another was Long Island Bridge and campus for recovery purposes. You know,
Which is not a project.
well, it
right?
is, but it's
Oh.
the project right now is I think in litigation. I think
Yeah,
they've come to an end of that, or they're close to it. So,
But it's
something-
not going to be built.
I don't know.
That's another conversation. But
Yeah.
I've heard nothing indicating that that's going to happen.
They still say it's going to happen. I don't know if
Quincy is like completely anti.
I know, but there's judges that have said you can't be anti.
I like that. You are not allowed to be anti.
Yes, and I'm on their side. No, I mean,
we need something, and that's a
Right.
decent solution, but it's going to be so expensive.
yeah, I think that the problem that Boston had, or the situation with people living on the street, was far different.
When there was a place.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that place is adequate for the our modern issue.
Yeah.
There was not fentanyl when Long Island existed.
Yeah, right.
Now there's meth, fentanyl, and some other elephant tranquilizer that's going around.
Right.
Those things weren't on the street, and
Right.
the homelessness problem. We've attracted a lot of people from
Yeah.
other states, and other states send people. That's documented. I'm not
Right,
just
yeah.
talking.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Long Island campus is. It was good in its day. I don't know I think its day has
Right.
come and gone. There's going to have to be more than just that.
The bridge and the facility
Yeah.
redo. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're getting sidetracked. So Sean Lydon.
We are.
Yeah.
Yes. So he was in charge of that, and he has decided to leave. He took a new job with the Water and Sewer Commission.
Okay.
So he's not overseeing White Stadium or Long Island Bridge.
Is he a dot
campus.
guy? Is he a
No,
local?
JP.
Okay.
He's an Irish guy.
Okay.
He just knows everything. He's been valuable to them. Water and Sewer has some needs
Yeah.
on their building, which looks really nice. But I was surprised to learn that they moved there in 2001.
Where is that building?
It's on Harrison Avenue
Okay. In the
in
South
Melnia,
End?
Cass.
Yeah. Okay.
24-hour operation, obviously. So they need a new roof. They just got rid of their parking lots. They're going to be developed to housing and other things. So now they might need a parking garage.
Are they going to move? Or are they going to
No,
stay there?
They're staying there. It's a great facility, and it's a good place for them to be. But, 2001 is a long time ago.
Yeah. Longer
Yeah.
than I'd like to think. That was the year I
Yes.
graduated from high school.
See, those, every year when we have 9/11, I think about like it was just yesterday, and then there's many, many people who,
We're not born.
yeah. What did it look like? Oh, you weren't there?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, one more quick story before we wrap. So, District 7, we're
Yeah.
between the prelim and the
City
general,
Council.
which is,
Mhm.
what day is that? November?
Yeah. The first Tuesday
November-ish.
in November. I always say the first Tuesday in November because I can't ever remember either.
Yeah.
Um,
But so we're down to 2 candidates for
Mhm.
that at-large seat, or that district seat, and 2 of the former rivals who
Mhm.
did not make the cut are
Right.
now backing one of the candidates, Minyard Culpepper.
Yeah. I mean, that was an interesting race. I mean, there were so
Yeah.
many candidates. It was a lively race. There were probably, there was close to
There's 11.
11.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even
Yeah.
more took out papers. So at one time, there could have been like 17.
Yeah.
It was, but yeah, it was an open seat.
Yep.
So
Fernandez Anderson.
yeah, there was no
Yeah.
incumbent, and it was good to see so many people. There was a lot of people that have been involved, have run before, or they've been involved in other things, organizing, working with the city. So it was a lively race, and people went door to door. That was interesting for that district. They went door
Yeah.
to door asking for the vote, and that's a good thing to happen. That's a democratic thing, not just like expecting the vote. You ask for it.
Yeah.
So one of the good things was that on election night there was a lot of excitement for District 7. And I don't think people expected these 2 candidates, Coach Ahmed and Minyard Culpepper, to emerge. I think they kind of maybe counted them both out. There were other candidates who worked really hard too. And,
who were a little more showy or
yeah,
visible.
more money.
Yeah.
Certainly more money. And they did not make the cut. But two of them, the other Saeed Abdikaram, who ran at large at one time too.
Okay.
He's also known as Orange Shirt.
Okay.
That's his thing. And
That's a
yeah,
little tidbit you just dropped and moved on. Cool.
yeah, and there's a long story behind it that he has, and I won't get into it.
Okay.
But he is now backing Minyard Culpepper.
Okay.
And then Sam Hurtado, who worked in business development, but was also an organizer in South Boston, the Old Colony housing development for a long time, and lives in District 7 near Upham's Corner. He was a very serious candidate. He campaigned very hard. And he is now backing Minyard Culpepper. So
Okay.
Minyard is getting
Some momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, he has also ran for public office.
Okay.
He ran for state senate for the seat that Liz Miranda now holds.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and that was a lively race too. And he's been around a very long time. He was an activist. He's a minister. He has a church on Humboldt Avenue. And so he seems to, even though they're very close in the vote total, he seems to be getting the support of the field that was
Okay.
running with them. The other guy, Coach Ahmed, Saeed Ahmed, isn't getting the same support, although he got a big vote. We'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
I could not pick a winner. I don't know who's going to win that.
Okay. Well, that'll be interesting to watch then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will.
Speaking of not picking winners, I'm picking a winner for this weekend.
Oh, the Patriots?
I hope it's a good game. But thank you for coming, Seth.
Yeah,
it's great to see you
my
again.
pleasure to be here.
Yeah, and good luck to your team this weekend.
Thank
I'm just kidding.
kidding.